Let's bring in another U.S. Senator, South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He was on TV a lot earlier this week. Senator, we know that a number of Republicans are going down to Georgia. Mike Pence is going to be there in about a week. On the Democratic side, it sounds like they would like to have Barack Obama, maybe Kamala Harris. You're donating not only your time, but you've got something else up your sleeve, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to donate $1 million to Senator Loeffler in Purdue for my campaign to make sure they have the resources to combat a tsunami of liberal money about to sink Georgia. The Democrats outspent us in 2020 probably 3-1. My opponent raised $140 million through the Act Blue giving app, where liberals all over America can send small donations into Democratic candidates. I raised $108 million thanks to your audience, but here I'm going to do two things: give $1 million to help them for my campaign, and challenge every Republican who has a website in the Senate and the House, direct every donation to Georgia. So if you come on to lindseygraham.com, you will find out how to give to Purdue and Loeffler. And every Republican, Mitch McConnell has done this. If we don't combat Act Blue, we're in trouble. Win Red, which is the alternative to Act Blue, raised $1 billion in the 2020 cycle. Act Blue raised $1.5 billion in the last 3 months. We've got to get better. I've got 2 million donors. I'm going to ask my donors to help Georgia, and I would encourage every other Republican, just don't go to Georgia, give to Georgia.
Ainsley.
Thank you. What exactly does it mean to the American family that's watching right now? How important is that election in Georgia?
It means everything about the structure of your nation. If you took 9th grade civics years ago like I did, it means that they would change the course. They would be 13 people on the Supreme Court, 9, because they need to expand it to make it liberal. The Electoral College would be changed so that New York and California pick the president. South Carolina and Georgia won't matter anymore because it'll be a popular vote election. I can see Georgia from my front porch. I drink the same water as my friends in Georgia. President Trump is tweeting to help Georgia. Bernie's America is on the ballot in Georgia. What we're trying to do is stop the most radical agenda in the history of American politics from being enacted, and Georgia stands in the way of socialism for America. So to my friends in Georgia, we've never needed you more. What you do on January the 5th will determine what America looks like. If you keep Senate in Republican hands, I will be the budget chairman. If we lose the Senate because Georgia got it wrong, Bernie Sanders will be chairman of the Budget Committee. That's about as big a difference as you can think of.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, your friend, President of the United States, is battling to get 4 more years. In the meantime, he has blown up the higher-ups, including the Secretary of Defense at the Pentagon, at which time there's some strong reports that the president's going to start pulling everybody out everywhere, from Germany to Afghanistan to South Korea. Is that a concern of yours?
Well, I don't believe it. I think he's been a good commander-in-chief. We killed the #2 in Al-Qaeda about 2 weeks ago in Afghanistan. To trust the Taliban to police Al-Qaeda and ISIS would be insane. Our presence in South Korea is a buffer against China and keeps North Korea in check. Having a troop reduction in Afghanistan makes sense. Pulling out makes no sense. Radical Islam is very present in Afghanistan. Our troops over there, an insurance policy against another 9/11. I don't believe this. I think the president's been too good of a commander-in-chief to do something like that at the end. So I'll believe it when I see it, and I'm confident he will keep America safe. And the election's not over, by the way. Somebody needs to be talking about Nevada. These lawsuits in Nevada are very promising. In Nevada, they have a machine to verify mail-in ballot signatures. If you don't have a signature on a mail-in ballot, then it's useless. The machine was basically turned off. So they ran millions of ballots through this machine, voting machine in Nevada, and the signature component of it was almost literally turned off. So they accepted every signature, whether it was fraudulent or not. They may win that lawsuit.
Well, Senator, you know, when you look at the various states, for the most part, tens of thousands of votes separate Donald Trump from Joe Biden. As we've heard from the experts, it's got to be some sort of systemic fraud, some gigantic thing. when you look at what has happened so far, what we know of, I mean, we haven't seen all the lawsuits perhaps that they will file, but what we've heard of so far, do you think any of those things have the chance of overturning any of the states?
Yes, I do. So let me just again tell you what I just said about Nevada. If you vote by mail and you don't have a signature, do you all agree that that's a sham? If I just send a ballot marked with Biden and their signature, you could vote 1,000 times. So requiring a signature on mail-in voting is essential to make it lawful, right? Well, how do you verify the signature? You have two ways to do it. Human beings look at the signature, or the computer looks at the signature. What I'm telling you, they set up the computer in Nevada so low that it would accept any signature. Signature verification in Nevada was meaningless because they set the computer up on a setting where it would approve anything. They need to rerun these signatures through the system.
Who put the machine on that?
The Clark County voting machine signature ballot verification component of the computer was basically turned off. I am convinced if you ran these signatures through with the machine set at the proper setting, thousands of ballots would be found to be kicked out. You remember the story about people filling out ballots on the hood of a car? We have a witness seeing that they filled out ballots on a Biden-Harrison truck. Well, those are fraudulent signatures. If you don't have a system to check the signatures, mail-in ballots become just ballot stuffing. So what are they doing in Georgia? Are you looking at the signature? It's not enough to recount the vote. I want to make sure that the signature on a mail-in ballot is actually real. Does it match the database? And I can tell you in Nevada, they had the machine cut off. It might as well not had a machine. That's what's at stake in Nevada. And quite frankly, there are other places where that may have happened.
Gosh, it might not change the outcome of the election, but at least it would help preserve the election integrity, which we're all seeking. Thank you so much, Senator, for being with us.
Thank you. Help Georgia. Thank you.